So Canva has a bunch of new AI features that some folks have already started using. Many of these have been around for a little while now, since last summer at least. But we wanted to take a moment to make sure that you knew how to access them and what they can do kind of for you in your planning process as you're getting things ready for your classroom. So you will notice that Canva Code lives right here. So that's one way into the editor, although that's not normally the way I go in. You can just sort of start typing in a chatbot here and begin designing with Canva AI, or you can go to the sidebar on the left and you can go to Canva AI this way, where you can create student activities, designs, images, documents, code, and video clips. The one that I'm going to show in this video, and I'm going to do some others in other videos, but I'm going to show the code feature right now because Canva Code is one of the most powerful tools that we have at our disposal as teachers, and a lot of folks don't know about it. So the neat thing about Canva Code is that I can come in here and say, let's see, I need an interactive escape room game for student, let's see what grade level, let's say 6th grade students, grade students to learn about ratios and proportions. Make it circus themed. I'm not sure why. Let's see what it can do. And I'm going to go create. And again, I made sure that Canva Code was turned on. I'm going to hopscotch into a new tab just because that will take a little time for it to work through that. But what you can do, I mentioned this in my overview video, is that if you lose your designs, if you're like, I'm in code, now it pops out, but that hadn't happened for the longest time, and I'd sit here and go, where's my old codes? You just open the menu. There's that new chat that I was just doing, and here are a whole bunch of other ones that I've done before. Everything from a Monster Maker, which is like, I think this one this one creates monsters in a genetics sort of way, so that there's different body traits and you roll for the traits and then it will create new monsters based on the traits and stuff like that. So a very simple thing that shows students how traits work, and I was trying to get it to like add in Punnett squares and things like that so that students will see when the monster genetics comes in and a parent and a second parent, how does that create the genetic codes? But there's also one that I had, Urdu to English, which is just a quick translator. So you can create just about any design. Let's see what's happening back here. It is taking some time to code those lines because what it's actually doing is writing computer code. It's writing an app for us. And if this one doesn't work all the way through right now, I can definitely show some of the things that I've made before. This was one interactive Three Little Pigs story where, let's see here. In this case, it's just a quick reading activity, asking some simple questions. Who's this about? And so this one's obviously for lower grades, but it is a sort of interactive version of the Three Little Pigs story. And it answers the W questions, who, what, why, where. So this pig, what did he build his house from? If I get it wrong, it just gives me a try again. So I programmed all that right over here. Not a whole bunch. These are my prompts. This is what Canva gives. And then it goes, is this what you want? And I didn't like version 1. So I said, that's great, but can we do this? And so it added different things. And so I'm able to do that. Big Bad Wolf comes. Where did he find? He found him in the straw house. And now, and then the wolf blows the house down. And so how did he blow it? How did he destroy the house? He blew it down. And then he runs to the next house, and the next house is made of sticks. And I don't think I have to tell everybody the story of the Three Little Pigs. But this was like a few minutes of my time, and I got this really cool interactive thing that if I am doing something with the 3 pigs or whatever in my primary classroom, I now have something that I can share with students. I'm going to see if, so here we go. This is, Ringmaster in Training. You're locked in the big top 3 trick lock doors stand between you and freedom. Answer a ratio and proposal. So let's see. The clown car. 3 clowns for every 2 red noses. There's 12 clowns. How many red noses are needed to keep the same proportion. So if I get 8, that's correct, and the lock opens. Now this one's simple. If I think it's too simple, I can come back over here and say, could you make it with 8 locks? Can they be more complicated questions? I can actually do anything with this, but what's really cool is when I'm ready, when I've played with it and I like it, then I can say use in a design. There's a bunch of options. I tend to use the presentation, and what it does is it kicks it out to a Canva presentation. And sometimes I have to like resize it a little bit just so I like the size of it on the page. So I'll play around with it a little bit and see if, oh, I can't move it around. So I would work on how to play around with that. But the nice thing is that once I have it sort of set up and ready, I can click share, and then I can not download, I can do a public view link, and I can just create a public view link. It essentially turns it into a web page where visitors can come to this, and when I put that web link in, ta-da! Now I have an app that my students can play on, something that I can post in Google Classroom or Seesaw, and I can make these sort of activities. That took me moments. The longest thing I have to do, sort of the 80-20 rule in play here, 80-20 rule for those who don't remember, is you never let AI do more than 80% of the job. 80% of the job. Sorry about that. I did the initial prompt. That didn't take me any time, but I am going to play with it. I am going to reiterate it. I am going to do those sort of things if I want to, because that's the part that I have to do. But there's another thing that I can do, and I just want to show real quick that I can show the code. And there's a reason that this is important, because a different way to share this would be to copy this code and to go over to a simple Google site. So this is the other way of sharing. And for those who don't realize, I just launched my sites. Let's see, I'll put it in my 00 file because that's where I put everything that I play with for. So here's a Google site, and I'm just going to create it. And this one has sharing turned on, so I wouldn't have to worry about sharing. One of the cool things about the way Google Sites works is that in the Pages feature, if I roll over the plus sign, not click on it, you'll notice one of the options is a full page embed. So I'm going to call this one, what was this, Ratios Escape. And done. And now it just says, what do you want to put in? I'm going to add an embed, and there's the code. I copied that code right out of Canva, and I click Next, and it pulls it over. And let's see if it's working. We're going to insert it in the page and see if it came through, because sometimes the code doesn't work perfectly between Google and Canva. But let's see, if I go to preview mode, does it actually launch? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so my buttons aren't there. Something's working, but the actual pictures aren't showing up. So often, if that is the case, I'll take it over to Gemini and just say, refine this code for a Google site. You can get as deep or as not deep as you want. The simplest way, again, is to simply go use in a design, kick it out to a presentation, and then instead of pushing that presentation to students, click on the share button and look for the public view link, and that will turn it into a web page that students can go to. And then I can take those view links and I can create, sometimes folks don't realize how easy this could be. I could just make a document called Fast Finisher Games. Obviously, I would work on the format, but here's a Ratio Escape. And I'm just going to highlight this and go paste. And so now I can actually create this document, which is just a Fast Finisher Games document that I could post in Google Classroom or just have available to my students. And then it will bring them to each of these little games that maybe Canva has helped me make. I realize that's a lot, but I wanted everybody to know about this because it really is one of those things that can be a complete game changer. We've done it with amendments to the Constitution quiz show. We've done it with interactive chemical equation balancer. So you can literally, anything you think of, you can try and create into this sort of widget. And we've done some, I had a teacher who said, see if I can find it real quick. I had a teacher who said that analog clock practice was the thing that their students needed most. So we built this. It's just a simple one where it's what time does this show? And the student types in or uses the arrows to pick the answer. It's a really simple, straightforward thing. Try Canva Code and let us know if you need any help.